How are you? Are you tired?
Tired, but emotionally, I think emotionally tired actually. It has been way more emotional and bittersweet than I thought it would be.
I know. I'm not even in the show, but I feel like I watched the screener again last night and I just like felt like crying the whole time. So,
Yeah.
Sam, congratulations. It's the end of an era in
Mm,
so many ways. And seeing that montage when Jamie flashes back to their lives, you
mm,
realize how much great television you all
yeah.
have created. And when you're old and you can't remember anything, you just need to turn Outlander on. You're
Right.
you're
There were
covered.
that's exactly it. You know, I haven't done that, and I probably won't for a while, but I will definitely like binge it all and go back and revisit it all because there's so
Yeah.
much that I thought about as well.
I know. I noticed that too. So, what did you think of the finale? Do Claire and Jamie, are they alive in your opinion?
Wow. I don't know. I think it's really up for interpretation. I think, I think we revisited young Jamie and Jamie's ghost, and I think for me that was really, really important. I
Yeah.
spoke to Matt about it a number of times and pushed for it, and I think that was a full circle moment. I think the fans as well will also really enjoy that or have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Um, and the very end, I honestly don't know. It's really up for interpretation whether they're alive and they're back on the ridge and everything's glorious and they live
I'm
happily
gonna
ever.
go with that. I think they
You are?
lived. I think they took that
I
breath
don't
and
know.
they're like, let's move on. I think they're alive. So when you were watching the screener, did you cry or were you just having so many login problems that you were crying because of that?
I certainly had login problems. Come on, guys, we can do better than picks. Sorry, picks, but I mean, I'm just maybe honestly, part of me didn't want to watch it. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I don't want to see the end of it or say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I cried. I did actually. I welled up a lot, and I actually then started watching not only this final episode, but also actually I was revisiting after seeing the montage, like other seasons and other episodes, and I look back at some moments, and there's some really powerful stuff. I look back at Culloden and how
Mhm.
amazing that battle scene was, and with the end of Tobias's character, and then I was looking at Myrta and our incredible scenes together. The writing was so powerful. Him dying in Jamie's arms,
Yeah.
horrific. Governor Tryon. We have this huge wealth of characters and amazing actors that have brought so much life to Outlander. It's been so special. So yeah, in some ways, I think the montage really worked for me because it's sort of not only a celebration of Jamie and Claire, but it's their incredible epic journey we've been on for 12 years.
12 years. What was your ending? Because you told me there was something you were fighting for. Did they pick the one you wanted?
To be honest, what I was asking for and pushed for was, yeah, Jamie's ghost, seeing that moment,
Okay.
seeing him at the window, and then, which I didn't know we were going to do, which I really liked, was then seeing young Jamie going to the stones, having a moment there, and perhaps calling someone or something into his life. And I think,
Yeah.
obviously, he's responsible for bringing Claire to his world.
Yeah. That's a great interpretation of that scene. So Diana's, this ending leaves it open for so many possibilities, whether it's an Outlander movie, whether you guys come back for a limited series, or it's just a really nice ending to a really
Mm.
beautiful show. Um, is the show ending better than Diana's ending, since she did tell you?
Oh. I mean, I can't reveal. Obviously, she gave myself and Meryl. I don't know why she did the insight and the sides to her last chapter of her last book. And all I'm going to say is there is some similarity. There's we're in the same world,
Okay.
but I mean, I don't know how she's going to get there, and I don't know. There's a lot more to come still in her books that we don't know. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I hope she's happy with the ending as well.
Katrina said she's excited to read book 10. Are you going to read it?
100%, 100%. Yeah, it'll be
Check there, like, is there a movie script in here? I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Where's my part?
Right. So Sam, on the last days of filming, like what made you emotional? I know that you and Katrina both said that scene where you're talking about the bees in bed was very incredibly difficult. But the second half of the episode with the fight sequence and Jamie dying in her arms, Katrina actually told me she had such an appreciation for you that day because that was a very hard day for her for filming. And I don't know if, can you talk about that day and how you supported her? Because she said she properly had to like cry and you guys took a break. So what was that like from your perspective?
I mean, I had an easy time of it once Jamie's dead. I was like quite happy to be dead on the mountain. It was like my journey was over. The character was was dead, but she, had this very challenging scene and moment where she's grieving by his body. Of course, Katrina nailed it, and she's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's heart wrenching, gut wrenching, but yeah, I remember it was difficult for her. Not only is it super emotional and physical, but it's also the end, and we were trying to get it right. And there was a lot of difficulties. We were up on a mountain in Scotland, and even getting there was hard. All the cast and crew had to go up on these like caterpillar sort of
Oh,
machines because it was completely unaccessible. And yeah, I think it was hard, and I remember sitting with her and talking to her at some points, and she just needed perhaps some support and comfort in that. But I think she absolutely nailed it, and I think they both knew it was coming. Jamie and Claire, they both knew that somewhere in part of them that yeah, he was about to die.
yeah. Yeah, she said that you properly just let her cry and then you all went and you just finished the scenes together. But she's like, yeah, how do you know when she's upset? Can you just tell?
Yeah. I think we know each other really well. And I think there's been so many times in the show where, I don't know, perhaps we've been, I don't know, going through something, whether you're upset or angry or whatever. And I can tell how she's feeling. I think we definitely know each other very well. And
Yeah.
we supported each other in those moments. I remember, myself going through some stuff. She, she was there with me and helped me out. And it's been so great to have her as a co-star, but also as a great friend.
Yeah. So did you see the blue light come out of Claire in that scene, by the way?
Um, I didn't see any blue light. I was dead.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I meant Sam, not Jamie. By the way, that's not a bad day for you. So how many days were you just lying in her arms like
Dead.
dead?
I think it was definitely 2 days. I think because we also shot on the mountain, but
Hmm.
then the stuff at nighttime, and then I think perhaps the close-ups were all shot in the studio. So I got to
Okay.
lie down a lot, which was great.
Not a
Um,
bad day for Sam.
Not a bad day for me, but I did have to come back and shoot, all the young Jamie stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, but it was
That
I didn't see any blue light. No.
that's what I only saw it because some fan like screenshotted it. It happens for an instant when her
There,
hand goes limp. So
that's
we'll see it
great.
later.
I do know, I do know that there was, yeah, some special light put in for sure. There was, I think, even in the studio, there was a blue tinge to the lighting.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Jamie's ghost. I personally love that. I thought that was
Yeah.
fun. And then having you go to the Stones. What did you do after filming that? Did everyone come and watch you? Like the minute they yelled cut, like what happened on that day? Tell me.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. We shot up at Kilmarnock for the Stones, and it's obviously such a magical place. And that was I had a real great moment there. I got to see young Jamie, going and having a moment, and perhaps calling her to him. But then actually, also, I decided I wanted to climb up the mountain because I'd done it years ago,
Yeah.
um, on my birthday when we were shooting season one, I think. And I invited Jamie Roy was there, so he came up and we went up together.
Yeah.
Had a nice moment, which I think they've we recorded and aired. But actually, yeah, the close ups we shot back in the studio, and that was my last shot. And I think that was the last thing that was ever shot on the show in terms of with us.
Yeah.
Katrina had been wrapped, moments before, and then I got wrapped. So there was a lot of emotion going around, and I think, yeah, it was just really fun to play young Jamie again, to put his costume back on, and
Yeah.
revisit.
Well, did you play the ghost in the pilot? Were you
Yeah.
in that scene?
Yeah, that was me, and I think it may have been the first thing I ever shot. And I remember that day, going up to that village of Falkland, and sitting in the waiting to go on set, and it was raining, and I didn't really know what this moment was, and you just see the back of this character who's
Yeah,
sort of watching her, and I was like, I don't know what this is. So it was really nice to then come back and
yeah.
and play, and it's that moment that Jamie talks about earlier in the episode where he says, I might come and check in on you now and then,
Oh,
keep an eye on you. I think he's doing that. I think he's always going to be watching her,
yeah.
when
He can't travel time, but he can like cavort around like a ghost, which is great.
yeah,
So Sophie said that when you were playing the ghost, like, and they said cut, that you basically walked over to her and Katrina and you guys had this like hug. Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
is that what happened? What happened there?
Yeah, it was so nice. As I said, everyone else had been wrapped. I think Sophie had been in, or she may just came in because she'd wrapped a day before. But they also, everyone came in, and all the crew were there as well. And then Katrina had wrapped,
Hmm.
and I got to shoot that final take. And then I think we had this big group hug, and there were a lot of tears, and I think there was a lot of champagne. And I walked off with Jamie's outfit, and I pulled his wig off for the last time, and stuffed it in my bag and went home with it.
Oh, great. Jamie's wig is at your house. I
Yeah, yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
Most of his costume is as well.
Okay, well, my last thing is I once wrote about this show that it is a show that will make you love love.
Yeah,
And when you guys are like 80 years old, like I said, I think this show is going to be part of your core memories. Is
yeah.
there a specific moment or story that you can share that when you are 80, you'll look back on and you'll remember as like a moment that made you love love, either behind the scenes or a scene that you did together?
Ah, that's really cool. And I think you're right. I think it's something that I'm always going to have. I'm really proud of it. The show, I think I can't wait to be that 80-year-old and go, you know what? I'm going to watch the whole thing and go back through it, because there's already so many moments that I've forgotten about, and so much great writing, and great Outlander moments, from Culloden
Yeah,
uh, to Versailles, to the Murta storylines. I think there was so much love there, the love of his godfather, and then losing him was really hard. Fergus, from young Fergus to older, and William, young William, back at Hellwater up to now with Charles. There's just been so much love. I think Jamie's got himself.
yeah.
But I guess what moment?
I will tell you, Katrina said that hers was the like when you guys would have dinners together and when you were offset and you were together.
Yeah, I think so. Or perhaps even on set, all the scenes when we were all together, the whole cast, they were chaotic and crazy and ridiculous. Sophie well. Everyone's Richard, their humor is insane, and Lauren, and it was it was chaos. And I think the crew sometimes would really lose their shit because they were like, how are you going to get through the scene, because we're just misbehaving. But it was so fun, and I think the cast is it exactly. Katrina's right. It's the cast, it's the love, and Katrina herself. I think sharing all these amazing moments with her, is really special. So I'm really really lucky. I've got now some great friends in all of our castmates. We
Yeah.
still stay in touch, we still hang out, and that's beautiful.
I feel like you guys are going to be like at a nursing home when you're 80 and you won't remember which life is yours. Like, was my name Jamie? Was my name Sam? I don't know.
Wow, I think my life sounds like it's going to be over at 80. You're saying I'm going to be like in a nursing home with lost my memory.
I know. I'm
That's fine.
sorry I keep putting you into this nursing home.
Thanks.
All
But
right. Well, Sam, I'm very excited to watch the finale tonight live with an audience.
Yeah,
Thank you so much to you and Katrina and the whole cast and crew. You changed people's lives with this show. It's a beautiful legacy.
thank you, Reshma. It's been such a fun journey together. And yeah, tonight's going to be so special. I think there'll be a lot more tears
Yeah.
watching it with the fans. It's
Weeping.
going to be amazing.
All right. I'll see you later tonight.
See you
Thanks.
tonight.